It's okay if you don't feel at all excited about this pregnancy. If you even don't feel happy that you're pregnant, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not abnormal and you are certainly not a bad person. You are pregnant again after your loss. Congratulations. I am so happy for you. You may be feeling a whole range of emotions right now. You may feel happy and elated, but to be honest, you may just feel anxious and scared that your loss is going to happen again. And that is completely normal, and it doesn't mean that it will. When I suffered my losses, was terrible for thinking, if I even thought about loss, that somehow I was jinxing myself, that it was going to happen again. Let's have a real conversation about what it feels like to be pregnant after you have suffered a miscarriage. On the one hand, you want to tell everybody straight away because you want that support there for you in case the worst were to happen again. But on the other hand, you feel like you shouldn't tell anybody because you are putting all your eggs in one basket if you think that this pregnancy is going to be successful, or at least that's what you think in your mind. You think that if you tell people that you're jinxing it, you think that if you tell people, then you're going to have to tell them that you miscarried again later down the line. It is such a stressful time. Your mind is probably all over the place right now, and I doubt very much that it is the happy start to pregnancy that you were wanting to have. We can often feel, I think, like something's been stolen from us because you see these pregnancy announcements on Instagram or on YouTube or even on fertility adverts on the television for pregnancy tests, and people are so happy about it. They're surprising their other halves with all these elaborate ruses to tell them that they're pregnant. And actually, often after you've had a loss, especially if it's multiple losses, your start to pregnancy can be completely different to that. I know just from my personal experience that after those first few pregnancies, when we did do the typical surprise I'm pregnant thing to my husband and kind of gave it to him in a special way, I just kind of said, I'm pregnant again. And he said, oh, okay, you know, that's good. But we were always just thinking, how long is it going to last for? Not knowing whether it was going to be successful this time or not. And you can really feel like something has been taken away from you in that sense. The same when you tell friends and family, you almost don't want to tell them because you think, I don't want to have to go through it again. If I have another loss, I don't want to tell them again that I've lost the baby. So may as well just not mention it at all. It can feel like you're not really pregnant, even if you manage to have early scans, and I would highly recommend that just for your own peace of mind. Even if you manage to have early scans, sometimes it can feel like it's not really happening. When I was pregnant with my second son, who was actually our 6th pregnancy, I don't think that I really kind of took it on board until I was maybe about 32 weeks pregnant. I didn't buy anything for him at all, partly I guess because we already had a child, so we had a lot of the things that we needed, but I just couldn't bring myself to start buying things because I didn't know whether it was going to stick. Obviously it did, so you know, even if you're thinking these things, it doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen. You can't think yourself into having a miscarriage or a loss, but I know that it can feel like that at the time. It's so easy for me to sit here and say to you, think positively about your pregnancy. You are pregnant. You are pregnant. Hooray, you're pregnant. So think positively about it, because at this very moment, nothing is going wrong and everything's fine. It's so easy for me to sit here and say that to you, but even though I have been in your position, I am not currently in your position, and I know that sometimes being told to think positively is not really very helpful at all. One of the proactive things that you can do, like I said, is go for early scans. We actually got quite a few of our early scans on the NHS, which is the UK's free health service. I know we're very, very lucky to have that. But we also did have some private scans that we paid for just for that extra peace of mind. In fact, I had one scan every week up until I was 12 weeks pregnant. And then I think it was every 4 weeks up until I gave birth. Now, I know that that is a lucky situation and that isn't possible for everybody. But if you can get scans, I would highly recommend them. Something that I would tell you, please don't do, is get a fetal Doppler. It's really, really tempting, and I thought about it multiple times with my pregnancy, with my second pregnancy, but it can actually just cause a lot more anxiety than it's worth, because if you can't find your baby's heartbeat yourself using your fetal Doppler, then you're probably going to start worrying, when actually it's probably just that you're not looking in the right place. Another thing that I would actually recommend you avoid doing, and this is from my own personal experience, is taking pregnancy test after pregnancy test to see if the tests are getting darker. Now, it can actually sometimes give you indications of what's happening. With a couple of my miscarriages, I did this and the tests started getting darker, and then all of a sudden they started getting lighter, and it did actually end in miscarriage for me. However, some people, and I did so much research online about this, some people's tests can get lighter, and it's just that because their hormone levels are so strong, I think it's called the hook effect, it actually causes the pregnancy tests to get lighter, and it doesn't always mean miscarriage. It just is a complete mind game, and I would avoid it if at all possible. In fact, with Rupert's pregnancy, which was my successful pregnancy after all our losses, I didn't take multiple pregnancy tests. I didn't take any digital pregnancy tests. I think I took 2 tests a few days apart just to check that I was actually pregnant and I wasn't imagining it. And then that was it. I didn't buy any tests. I made sure that I didn't take them because I just didn't need that stress and anxiety on top of everything else. Another thing I would say to you is just accept the fact that it's okay to feel anxious. It is okay to feel worried. This is normal. If you have had loss, it's normal to feel high levels of anxiety each day. I would recommend, if you can, talking to somebody about it, either a friend that maybe understands and knows what you have gone through. You can always talk to me if you want to send me a DM or leave a comment. I'm always happy to chat to you. And if you do have a midwife already, then I would recommend talking to them. My midwife was fantastic when I told her about my losses, and she told me that I could come in anytime for a chat. She saw me on a regular basis, and she said to me, even in between my appointments, if I just wanted a cup of tea and somebody to talk to, then she was there for me. So I really would recommend reaching out to your midwife, and hopefully you have one that is as nice and obliging as I did. I also just wanted to say that it's okay if you don't feel at all excited about this pregnancy. If you even don't feel happy that you're pregnant, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not abnormal, and you are certainly not a bad person. It is a normal response to what has happened to you. That excitement and that happiness will come. It might not even come until you're holding your baby in your arms. It might not come until you pass the 20-week mark or the 30-week mark. It will come for you though. But don't worry about the fact that you don't feel like that yet. I know it's rubbish and I know it sucks, and of course you want to feel happy and excited, but it's okay if you don't feel those feelings, and in fact you feel the exact opposite. If you're pregnant right now after your loss, then do leave a comment below, because we can chat together, and then other people that watch this video can chat and see and connect with other people that are in the same situation as them. I really do think that having a community of support is one of the most, if not the most important thing to get you through your pregnancy. Do like this video. If you did like it, it would mean so much to me, and it really does help my channel. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope to chat to you down below in the comments, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.